Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Welcome back to Allah's creation. Today we're embarking on a majestic journey, a deep dive into the breathtaking world of mountains.
Mountains, these awe-inspiring giants sculpted by the hand of Allah, they stand as testaments to his boundless power and artistry.
We're going to explore these wonders from their peaks to their roots, uncovering the secrets of their formation and the remarkable ways they enrich our lives.
You know, it's fascinating how something as seemingly simple as defining a mountain can spark debate among geologists.
Really?
Yeah, I always thought a mountain was, well, a big, tall landform with a peak. What else is there to consider?
You're right about the key features, of course.
Yeah.
Height, slopes, and those majestic peaks are definitely hallmarks of mountains. But the challenge lies in pinning down a precise height that distinguishes a mountain from a hill. Some geologists say a landform needs to rise at least 1,000 feet above its surroundings to be considered a mountain.
SubhanAllah. So there's no one-size-fits-all definition. It's more about the prominence of the landform, right? Exactly, and that's just the beginning. The real intrigue lies in the sheer variety of mountains, each type sculpted by unique geological processes.
Speaking of variety, I'm eager to learn about the different types of mountains. What are some of those awe-inspiring categories?
Let's start with the fiery drama of volcanic mountains. Imagine molten rock, erupting from the Earth's depths, cooling and solidifying over time to form these majestic peaks. Mount Fuji in Japan, with its iconic cone shape, is a breathtaking example of a volcano's artistry.
Subhanallah. It's incredible how something as destructive as a volcanic eruption can give birth to such beauty. What other forces shape these colossal landscapes?
Imagine two colossal tectonic plates, those giant pieces of the Earth's crust slowly colliding over millions of years. The immense pressure forces the land to buckle and fold, creating awe-inspiring mountain ranges like the Himalayas.
The Himalayas, home to Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth. It's mind-boggling to think about the forces at play to create something so colossal.
And the Earth's artistry doesn't stop there. Sometimes, instead of folding, the Earth's crust cracks and faults, causing blocks of rock to tilt and rise, forming what we call fault block mountains. The Sierra Nevada in California, known for its dramatic granite cliffs, is a prime example of this type.
So many different ways Allah has chosen to shape these magnificent creations. It's like a divine sculptor, using different techniques to craft each masterpiece. What about those mountains that look like giant tabletops with flat tops and steep sides? I've always been fascinated by them.
Those are Plateau Mountains, formed by a combination of uplift and erosion. Imagine a vast plateau lifted high above the surrounding landscape. Then, over millions of years, wind and water slowly carve away at the edges, leaving behind those isolated, flat-topped mountains. The Colorado Plateau, with its stunning mesas and canyons, is a breathtaking example of this process.
It's amazing how even erosion, a force that wears things down, can contribute to such breathtaking formations. It reminds us that destruction and creation are often intertwined in Allah's design.
Exactly. And we can't forget about Dome Mountains, shaped by the slow, upward push of magma from deep within the earth. This creates a dome-like uplift, which is then sculpted by erosion, revealing the hardened core. The Black Hills of South Dakota, a place sacred to the Lakota people, are a beautiful example of this process.
Subhanallah. The diversity of mountain types is truly astonishing. It's clear that Allah has employed a remarkable array of techniques to shape these majestic landscapes. But I'm curious to learn more about the specific processes involved. Can we delve a bit deeper into how mountains are formed?
Absolutely. Let's start with those tectonic plates we mentioned earlier, the foundation of many mountain building processes. Imagine the Earth's crust as a giant jigsaw puzzle, with massive plates constantly shifting and interacting, driven by forces deep within the Earth.
I've always been fascinated by plate tectonics. It's hard to imagine something so slow and yet so powerful, shaping continents and giving birth to mountain ranges over millions of years.
It's truly awe-inspiring. When two continental plates collide, the immense pressure forces the land to buckle and fold, creating those towering fold mountains we discussed earlier. The Himalayas are a prime example of this process, still rising today as the Indian plate pushes against the Eurasian plate.
So even those seemingly unyielding giants are constantly evolving, shaped by forces we can barely comprehend. And what about the role of volcanoes in mountain formation? We talked about volcanic mountains, but I imagine volcanic activity can shape landscapes in other ways as well.
You're absolutely right. Volcanic eruptions can also contribute to the growth of existing mountains. Think about it. Lava flows cool and solidify, adding layers of rock to the landscape. increasing the height and bulk of mountain ranges over time.
It's like a constant process of building and shaping, a testament to the dynamic nature of Allah's creation. And what about erosion? It's often seen as a destructive force, but I imagine it plays a crucial role in shaping mountains as well.
Erosion is absolutely essential. Wind, water, and ice act like master sculptors, carving away at the rock, shaping peaks and valleys, and revealing the hidden layers of geological history. Those jagged peaks, those deep canyons, those intricate rock formations, all shaped by the patient hand of erosion.
Subhanallah, it's a breathtaking symphony of forces, all working together to create these majestic wonders. It makes you realize that even the seemingly most solid things on Earth, like mountains, are subject to constant change and transformation.
That's beautifully put. And now that we've explored the forces behind the formation, let's take a virtual journey to some of the most famous mountain ranges across the globe.
Yes. From the towering Himalayas in Asia, crowned by Mount Everest, to the Andes, the longest mountain range in the world, stretching along the western coast of South America.
And let's not forget the Rockies in North America, the Alps in Europe, and the Atlas Mountains in Africa. Each range has its own unique character, its own story to tell, and its own significance to the people who live amongst them.
Speaking of people and their connection to mountains, we must acknowledge the mountains closer to home, the mountains of Bangladesh.
Ah, yes, the Chittagong Hill Tracts, a region of remarkable beauty and cultural diversity. These hills may not reach the towering heights of the Himalayas, but they hold a special place in the hearts of those who call them home.
Exactly. The lush vegetation, the winding rivers, and the vibrant cultures of the people who live there make it a truly special place. It's a reminder that mountains, regardless of their size, hold a deep connection to human life.
You're right. Mountains are not just geological formations, they are intricately woven into the fabric of human life, shaping cultures, providing resources, and inspiring awe and wonder.
Speaking of inspiration, let's shift our focus to why mountains matter, not just for their breathtaking beauty, but for their environmental, economic, and spiritual significance.
Mountains play a vital role in our planet's health. They act as natural water towers, collecting precipitation and releasing it gradually, feeding rivers and sustaining life downstream. They also regulate climate, influence weather patterns, and serve as havens for incredible biodiversity.
It's amazing to think that these towering giants play such a vital role in the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems.
Indeed. And their economic importance is equally significant. Mountains provide resources like minerals and timber, support tourism, and are even used for generating hydroelectric power, providing clean energy to communities.
And of course, we can't forget their social and cultural importance. Mountains have been seen as sacred sites in many religions, inspiring art, music, and traditions in the communities that live among them.
Absolutely. Mountains are often seen as places of spiritual retreat, offering a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. Their grandeur and immutability remind us of the power and majesty of the Creator.
And speaking of the Creator, let's delve into the profound significance of mountains in the Quran and Hadith. I know our viewers are eager to hear about the Islamic perspective on these magnificent creations.
Let's explore those verses that speak of mountains, emphasizing their role as stabilizers of the earth. They are described as pegs, holding the earth firm amidst the vastness of space. These verses, like Surah An-Naba, verse 78.7, remind us of Allah's power and wisdom, how He has designed everything in creation with a purpose and a balance.
And let's not forget the Hadiths, the sayings and stories of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that involve mountains. His love for Jabal Uhud, for instance, teaches us about loyalty, resilience, and the spiritual connection we can have with nature.
Sharing these stories will help our viewers appreciate the profound spiritual significance of mountains in Islam. They're not just physical entities, they are symbols of Allah's power, stability, and the bounty of resources they provide for humanity.
Precisely. And speaking of understanding, let's now transition to the realm of science and explore the fascinating research that sheds light on the mysteries of mountains.
Scientists have been studying these majestic formations for centuries, unraveling the secrets of their formation, evolution, and ecological significance. We'll delve into the world of geology, geography, and environmental science, exploring how these disciplines contribute to our understanding of mountains.
Let's start with geology, the study of the Earth itself, its rocks, its structure, and its history. Geologists have been fascinated by mountains, using their knowledge to understand how these colossal structures were formed and how they continue to evolve over time.
Geologists use a variety of techniques to study mountains. from examining rock formations and analyzing seismic activity to studying the movement of tectonic plates. It's like piecing together a giant puzzle, uncovering the history of the Earth one layer at a time.
It's incredible how science can help us understand the complex processes that led to the creation of these natural wonders.
And it's not just geology. Geography, the study of the Earth's surface, its features, and how humans interact with them also plays a vital role in our understanding of mountains. Geographers study mountain locations, climates, and the unique plant and animal life found there.
They map out mountain ranges, analyze weather patterns, and explore the impact of mountains on human settlements and cultural development. It's a fascinating field that brings together the physical and human dimensions of these landscapes.
And then we have environmental science, a field that focuses on understanding and addressing environmental problems, which is increasingly important when it comes to studying mountains.
That's because mountains are particularly sensitive to environmental changes, especially climate change. Scientists are studying how rising temperatures, melting glaciers, and changing weather patterns are impacting fragile mountain ecosystems and the communities that depend on them.
This research is crucial for developing strategies to protect these vulnerable environments and mitigate the negative impacts of climate change.
It's a reminder that our understanding of mountains is constantly evolving as we learn more about their complexity and interconnectedness with the rest of the planet. And speaking of interconnectedness, let's shift our focus to the people and wildlife that call mountains home. Mountains are not just desolate, rocky landscapes. They are teeming with life, from the resilient communities who have adapted to these challenging environments to the unique flora and fauna that thrive in these high-altitude regions.
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore the lives of mountain people, the fascinating adaptations of plants and animals, and the importance of conservation efforts to protect these precious ecosystems.
Stay tuned, dear viewers. Our journey into the majesty of mountains continues in part 2.
Welcome back to our exploration of Allah's majestic mountains.
I'm still in awe of the sheer diversity and power we witnessed in part 1, from those fiery volcanoes to the slow, steady grind of tectonic plates. It's clear that mountains are anything but static.
And today, we'll delve deeper into the spiritual realm, exploring the profound wisdom embedded in mountains as symbols of strength, resilience, and divine creation.
I'm particularly excited to explore the stories and teachings about mountains found in the Quran and Hadith.
Let's begin by reflecting on a powerful verse from Surah An-Naba, verse 78.7. It says, "And the mountains like pegs." This verse beautifully captures the role of mountains as stabilizers of the earth, preventing it from shaking.
It's such a vivid image, imagining mountains as pegs anchoring the earth, holding it firm amidst the vastness of space. It reminds us of Allah's power and wisdom, how He has designed everything in creation with a purpose and a balance.
Precisely. And this theme of stability and strength is echoed in many other verses of the Quran. For instance, in Surah Al-Hijr, verse 15.9, Allah says, "And we have placed on the earth firm mountains, lest it should shake with them. And we place therein mountains as routes and landmarks, that they might be guided." This verse highlights not only the stabilizing function of mountains, but also their role as guides and landmarks for travelers.
It's incredible how Allah has designed mountains to serve multiple purposes benefiting both the earth and humanity. They are not just static structures, they are dynamic elements of creation playing vital roles in our planet's ecosystems and our spiritual understanding.
And speaking of spiritual understanding, let's delve into the rich traditions and stories about mountains found in the Hadith. One particularly poignant story is about the Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, love for Jabal Uhud, a mountain near Medina.
I've always been touched by this story. It beautifully illustrates the Prophet's deep connection to nature and how even mountains can hold spiritual significance.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, is reported to have said, "This is a mountain that loves us, and we love it," Sahih al-Bukhari, a mountain that loves and is loved. It's a testament to the profound interconnectedness of all creation and how even seemingly inanimate objects can hold a special place in our hearts.
It reminds us that we are not separate from nature, but rather a part of it woven into the tapestry of creation, alongside mountains, rivers, trees, and all living beings.
And this interconnectedness is beautifully reflected in the Islamic principle of Tawhid, the oneness of Allah, which teaches us that all creation is a manifestation of Allah's attributes, and that everything is ultimately connected back to Him.
So when we look at mountains with their towering heights, their steadfast presence, and their intricate beauty, we are reminded of Allah's power, wisdom, and creativity. They are like a reflection of His attributes, inspiring us to contemplate His greatness and seek a deeper connection with Him.
And that contemplation can be found not only in the grandeur of mountain peaks, but also in the intricate details of their formation. Let's explore some fascinating scientific insights into how mountains are formed.
I'm always amazed by how science can enhance our understanding of the complexity and wonder of Allah's creation.
Let's talk about plate tectonics, a theory that revolutionized our understanding of how the Earth's surface moves and changes over time. Imagine the Earth's crust as a giant jigsaw puzzle, with massive plates slowly drifting and colliding with each other.
It's mind-boggling to think about the immense scale of these plates moving at a pace that's almost imperceptible to humans, yet shaping the very landscapes we inhabit.
When two continental plates collide, imagine the unimaginable force. They buckle, fold, and uplift, creating those majestic mountain ranges we see today, like the Himalayas, the Alps, and the Andes.
It's like witnessing a slow-motion collision of titanic proportions, resulting in some of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth. And what about volcanoes? They seem to play a dramatic role in mountain formation as well.
Absolutely. Volcanoes are like fiery vents releasing molten rock, ash, and gases from deep within the Earth. When lava erupts and cools, it solidifies, building up layers over time and forming those iconic cone-shaped volcanic mountains.
Mount Fuji in Japan, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, and Mount Vesuvius in Italy are just a few examples of these awe-inspiring volcanic creations, each with its unique history and impact on the surrounding landscape.
And let's not forget the role of erosion, a force that's often seen as destructive, but is actually a key player in shaping the intricate beauty of mountains. Wind, water, and ice act like master sculptors, carving out valleys, sharpening peaks, and smoothing out rough edges over millions of years.
It's like imagining a giant hand gently shaping the mountains, revealing their hidden details and creating a breathtaking tapestry of textures and forms.
And this process of erosion is constantly at play, reminding us that even the seemingly most solid and unchanging landscapes are subject to the forces of nature constantly evolving and transforming over time.
It's a humbling reminder that nothing in this world is truly static, that change is the only constant, and that even mountains, these symbols of strength and permanence, are ultimately subject to the flow of time and the will of Allah.
Speaking of the flow of time, imagine the incredible journey mountains have taken throughout Earth's history. They've witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, the evolution of countless species, and the dramatic shifts in our planet's climate.
Imagine the stories mountains could tell if they could speak. They've been silent observers to the grand drama of life on Earth, witnessing the ebb and flow of history and the intricate dance of creation.
And yet they stand tall, resilient, reminding us that even amidst the constant change and uncertainty of life, there is a steadfastness, a strength that endures.
And that strength, that resilience, is something we can draw inspiration from, particularly in the face of challenges and adversity. Mountains teach us that even when the winds howl and the storms rage, we can remain rooted, grounded, and steadfast in our faith and our purpose.
They are like beacons guiding us towards resilience, reminding us that we too can weather the storms of life and emerge stronger, just as mountains have endured the forces of nature for millennia.
And speaking of enduring, let's shift our focus to the remarkable ways in which plants and animals have adapted to life in these challenging high-altitude environments. It's a testament to the incredible diversity and resilience of Allah's creation.
Imagine the harsh conditions found in mountains. Thin air, extreme temperatures, strong winds, and rugged terrain. Yet life finds a way to thrive, adapting and evolving to meet these challenges head-on.
Let's take the snow leopard, for example, a majestic creature found in the high mountains of Central Asia. Its thick fur provides insulation against the cold. Its large paws act like snowshoes, and its powerful limbs allow it to navigate steep and rocky slopes with ease.
And what about the Andean condor, a bird of prey with a wingspan of up to 10 feet, allowing it to soar effortlessly above the towering peaks of the Andes? Its keen eyesight helps it spot prey from great distances, while its powerful beak and talons make it a formidable hunter.
And let's not forget the resilient alpine plants like the edelweiss that thrive in rocky crevices, withstanding harsh winds, freezing temperatures, and intense sunlight. Their adaptations, like hairy leaves and deep roots, allow them to survive in these demanding conditions.
Each species, from the smallest alpine flower to the largest mountain goat, has developed unique strategies to survive and flourish in these high-altitude environments. It's a testament to the incredible creativity and adaptability of life, a reminder that even in the most challenging conditions, Allah's creation finds a way to thrive.
And it's this diversity of life, this delicate balance of ecosystems that we need to protect. Mountains are facing increasing threats from climate change, habitat loss, and human activities, making conservation efforts more important than ever.
We have a responsibility to be stewards of Allah's creation, protecting these fragile environments and ensuring that future generations can continue to marvel at the majesty of mountains.
And speaking of marvels, let's shift our focus to the people who call mountains home. Their cultures, traditions, and lifestyles are as diverse and fascinating as the landscapes they inhabit.
From the Sherpa people of the Himalayas, renowned for their mountaineering skills and resilience at high altitudes, to the indigenous communities of the Andes, who have cultivated sustainable agricultural practices for centuries, mountain people have a deep connection to their environment.
Their lives are often intertwined with the rhythms of nature, their traditions, shaped by the challenges and opportunities presented by their mountainous surroundings. Their stories are a testament to human adaptability, resilience, and the profound connection we share with the natural world.
And in exploring their cultures, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the diversity of human experience and the ways in which mountains have shaped not only landscapes, but also the lives and traditions of those who call them home.
So as we transition to the final part of our deep dive, let's carry with us this awe and respect for mountains. They're far more than just rock and ice.
They are symbols of strength, resilience, and divine creation, reminding us of the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of protecting these precious gifts for generations to come.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to the final part of our deep dive into the majesty of mountains. We've explored their formation, their significance to our planet and our faith, and even peeked into the lives of those who call them home.
And now we'll zoom in, shifting our focus from the grand scale to the intricate details that often go unnoticed.
It's like taking a closer look at a masterpiece, appreciating the brushstrokes, the textures, the subtle nuances that contribute to the overall beauty.
Exactly. We'll examine those hidden wonders, those intricate details that reveal the true artistry of Allah's creation.
I'm excited to uncover those hidden treasures. Where shall we begin?
Let's start with something we often take for granted, the very building blocks of mountains, rocks.
They might seem ordinary, but I know they hold fascinating stories.
Each rock is a time capsule, a testament to the immense forces that have shaped our planet over millions of years. Imagine holding a piece of granite in your hand, a rock that was once molten magma deep within the earth, slowly cooling and crystallizing over time. Then, tectonic forces pushed it upward, exposed it to the elements, and sculpted it with wind and water.
It's incredible to think about the journey that rock has taken, the transformations it has undergone to become part of the majestic mountain we see today. And each type of rock, from granite to sandstone to limestone, has its own unique story to tell.
And those stories are not just about the rocks themselves, but also about the fossils they sometimes contain. Imagine discovering the imprint of an ancient seashell high up in a mountain range, evidence that the very ground we stand on was once submerged beneath an ocean.
SubhanAllah. It's a reminder that the earth is constantly changing, that what we see today is just a snapshot in time, a fleeting moment in the grand scheme of geological history.
Those fossils also tell us about the evolution of life on Earth, how species have adapted and changed over millions of years, often in response to the shifting landscapes and changing climates. It's a reminder of the interconnectedness of all creation, how the story of mountains is also the story of life itself.
Speaking of interconnectedness, let's talk about those incredible ecosystems that thrive in mountains, often hidden away in valleys, clinging to rocky slopes, or tucked away in alpine meadows. They're like miniature worlds, teeming with life, uniquely adapted to these challenging conditions.
Imagine a high-altitude meadow bursting with wildflowers in the spring, attracting pollinators like bees and butterflies, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the snow-capped peaks in the distance.
Or crystal-clear mountain stream, its waters cascading over rocks, home to trout and other aquatic creatures, their lives intricately linked to the flow of water from the mountains above.
And those dense forests that cloak mountain slopes, providing habitat for a wide array of animals, from deer and bears to owls and woodpeckers. These ecosystems are not just beautiful, they are essential for maintaining the health of our planet.
They regulate water cycles, purify air, prevent soil erosion, and provide us with valuable resources like timber and medicinal plants. And as we discussed earlier, they're also incredibly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change.
Rising temperatures, changing precipitation patterns, and melting glaciers are all having a profound impact on mountain ecosystems, threatening the delicate balance of life that has evolved over millennia.
It's a stark reminder that our actions have consequences, and that we have a responsibility to protect these fragile environments, not just for the sake of the plants and animals that call them home, but also for the well-being of humanity.
That protection can take many forms, from supporting conservation efforts and advocating for sustainable policies to making conscious choices in our daily lives to reduce our environmental footprint.
It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all creation, understanding that our actions have ripple effects, and that even small changes can make a difference. And speaking of making a difference, let's turn our attention to the human communities who live in mountain regions, their lives inextricably linked to the rhythms of nature and the challenges and opportunities presented by their unique environments.
We've touched upon the cultural diversity of mountain people, but it's worth emphasizing how their traditions, livelihoods, and very identities are shaped by the mountains they call home.
Imagine a community high in the Himalayas where life revolves around the yak, a hardy animal that provides milk, meat, wool, and transportation. Their entire way of life is adapted to the harsh conditions of their environment, their traditions passed down through generations, their spiritual beliefs often intertwined with the mountains they revere.
Or consider the indigenous communities in the Andes, who have cultivated terraced fields on steep mountainsides for centuries. Their agricultural practices adapted to the unique topography and climate of their region. Their knowledge of medicinal plants and their understanding of the delicate balance of their ecosystems are invaluable.
And we can't forget the mountain communities who rely on tourism. Their livelihoods intertwine with the allure of majestic peaks, breathtaking vistas, and thrilling outdoor adventures. Their economies depend on the responsible management of natural resources and the preservation of the very landscapes that draw visitors from around the world.
It's a reminder that mountains are not just geological formations. They're also sources of livelihood, cultural identity, and spiritual inspiration for millions of people around the world.
In recognizing the importance of mountains to human societies, we can better understand the need to protect these environments, not just for the sake of biodiversity, but also for the well-being of those who call mountains home.
It's about finding ways to balance conservation with development, ensuring that mountain communities can thrive while also preserving the natural beauty and ecological integrity of their surroundings.
As we conclude this deep dive, let's reflect on the profound lessons that mountains teach us. They are symbols of strength, resilience, and the interconnectedness of all creation.
They remind us that even in the face of adversity, we can remain steadfast, grounded, and connected to something larger than ourselves.
They inspire us to appreciate the beauty and diversity of Allah's creation, to marvel at the intricate workings of nature, and to recognize our responsibility as stewards of this planet.
And they invite us to seek a deeper connection with the Creator, to find solace and inspiration in the grandeur of His creations, and to live our lives in harmony with the natural world.
Jazakallah khair for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of mountains. May Allah grant us the wisdom to appreciate and protect these majestic wonders for generations to come.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.